welcome to part two. So who do you think Dave will fight then? Do you think it'll just be a knockover, Terry, or do you think, he's saying he wants Wardley this year?
He wants who? Wardley.
Fabio Wardley this year, he's saying, and he's boxing UK into it. It's a good interview, 20 minutes, actually.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how serious he is because you can't just jump. Because Fabio Wardley's been training solidly for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I know, and he takes it pretty serious. Him, doesn't he? Weighs his food and a lot of heard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Dave done it. He just goes in pizza, doesn't he? Let's hope Dave's serious this time, and we can have somebody from this area who can be a British champion instead of just Bruce Woodcock. You know what I mean? It'd be nice for area if Dave could win a British.
It'd be mad if you ended up getting closer to winning a British than he did.
Well, we're going to see, aren't we? But it's hard when you've been mate with somebody and they get to this stage of their career and they're not taking it serious. I can hardly come on here and say he's rocking and rolling, can I?
Oh, man.
Taking people out pads in a pair of KFC slides. You know what I mean?
These are dark days for boxing, Russ.
Very dark days, mate. Very dark days. It's on a sticky wicket boxing at the moment, a bit like Eddie Hearn's former toupee, isn't it? He's got more hair now than 10 years ago.
Do you know what I'll say, Russ?
Eddie 10 years ago at Butte fight.
This is what I'll say, right? I think once you say you're done with boxing, you shouldn't be allowed back. Once you retire, you should be retired forever. Then we'll see how many people are really retired.
Yeah, because nobody would retire, would they?
Well, I just get annoyed when people are like, yeah, I've retired. And they go through that whole nonsense of being retired. Then a year and a half later, they're like, yeah, I need to come back. You're like, what? No, just don't come back.
Yeah. Let's move on to the business end of the discussion today. Anthony Yard against Beterbiev. We have to give Yard credit, even though he's really skipped quite a few levels. He's going for it again, isn't he? He's not frightened, is he?
This guy's fought for. This guy would have fought for world titles against two legitimate monsters at the weight.
Yeah.
No soft touches, no biding his time. And he's never said, give me a tune-up or anything. He's like, I just want to fight those guys. That's what he's always said.
Getting paid big, though, isn't he? Getting paid well, isn't he?
What's at the Wembley Arena? I don't know how much money that generates for us.
He'll be on a few quid, won't he? If he wins that fight, is he pound for pound? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to say that, right? Because he'll just take Beterbiev's spot.
Well, Beterbiev's everybody's top five, isn't
he? Yeah, if he beats him, then
basically he's a superstar, and Tunde Ajayi, I'm not swapping spit and shower with him. He's not on my Christmas card list, but technically he would be a genius, wouldn't he?
I think he pretty much is now, to be honest. I think he's one of the 5 best trainers in this country.
He's not got a British title to his name, though, has he?
Not directly, but you have to remember that he's the reason a lot of these kind of London boxers understand how to work hard. He's that reason. So when people talk about Tunde, they always talk about him in reference to Anthony Yard, and they don't talk about all the other people who have kind of been through the Tunde machine. Even someone like a Kevin Mitchell has been through the Tunde machine.
What other kid who went with him who did well from that O'Hara, wasn't it?
O'Hara Davis.
He's quiet, isn't he?
They're talking about him against Ritson, aren't they? So I think that's what they're waiting for.
I'm saying though, he doesn't shoot his mouth up like he used to, does he?
But he's actually a quiet person in private. Like
doing all mad stuff, wasn't he, all the time? You think they had him doing mad stuff?
They were telling him what to do.
I heard they made him dye his hair and that.
Yeah, they were telling him what to do.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, poor kid. And he gets such a bad rap from boxing fans. But you got to remember, O'Hara's the kid who will never duck a challenge.
Yeah.
Never duck a challenge. Never. Yeah. Doesn't go out.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Doesn't drink. I mean, he's a good kid.
yeah. You know this Frank Sanchez they all keep going on about 21-0, 14 banged out.
Yeah.
What do you reckon to him, Terry?
Still untested for me. Let him fight Bukoli.
Really?
Yeah, I would because, and I don't even I say this because I like Martin Bukoli. I want to see Martin Bukoli in that mix, right?
Yeah.
Where we can just credibly say, look, this guy's he is the real deal.
What about Jared Anderson? 13-0, 13 banged out. He's top 25 on BoxRec American, age 23. He's making a name for himself, isn't he?
He's a small heavyweight though. Like we're still in the land of the giants. He's a small heavyweight. So I think when you start to get to those 6'6", 6'7" guys, he'll struggle.
Or
Yeah, it's small heavyweight.
I think that's a cruiserweight, aye.
No. You'd be tall for a cruiserweight, but he's a small heavyweight. Even just because was he 6'4", 240 something pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a Joe Parker, man. He's just a small guy in a Giants division.
Yeah. You reckon? Do you reckon Billy Joe will come back, Terry?
Yeah, man. Come back for an easy payday. He'll come when he needs the money.
Yeah. What do you reckon about all this with Lawrence? Coley's reckon he's at last laugh.
Name me one boxer who's done this much damage to Eddie Hearn's reputation.
Carl Frampton when he left him. Ben, he's done bad reputation to him only recently.
No, but Hearn wrote that out. Like this one, when Lawrence was like, "I'm leaving," Hearn said, "I'm suing." Lawrence is like, "Right, I'm off to Sky," and now Hearn has to sue. And if he doesn't sue, then he's done. No one's done this to Hearn before. Literally, just went right. I want to park my tanks on your lawn and see what you do.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? I want to talk about Dan Aziz and David Bentley. Denzel Bentley. They've not had an easy run, have they? But they seem to be blossoming and showed that hard work and grind and working your way up, you can do it.
They've just grafted, and the thing I like about them, Russ, is they don't say no. Like there's no, I'm going to manage my career. It's none of that. It's if you offer me the right amount of money, I'll fight anybody.
Yeah.
And they entertain. Like they're not. Then you're going to be entertained when you watch those guys fight. It's as simple as that. Always surprised that British boxing fans talk about how they want people to come up the hard way, come up the traditional way, do all of that, right? That's what they say. We want our guys to do this. Then they tell you, I hate nothing more in boxing than people saying, I don't want to fight this person just yet. We'll wait till it's a bigger deal. You know, all these things that frustrate boxing. Dan Aziz and Denzel don't do any of them. And I don't feel that they get the accolades from the fans that they deserve.
No.
Those guys should be proper, like, but people should be tweeting on whatever platform they're on going, why can't we have more boxers like these two? That's what we should be saying.
I'll throw a fight at you now. Denzel Bentley against Billy Joe at middleweight. If Billy Joe beat him, he'd beat Mix, wouldn't he?
If Billy Joe, it's a hard fight for Denzel, but he'll catch him. He'll catch him and he'll hurt him. Like that's not an easy fight for Billy Joe. Actually, that'd be quite tough.
Liam's on about coming back. Cameron.
Good. I want him to come back.
5-year out at Ring in April.
Yeah, I want Killer to come back. I want you to manage him.
I'm not going to manage him.
Why?
I think he'll be training with Chris again, and they'll go a deal. They'll start again and just get him out there, check a bit of ring rust off if he does come back.
I'd like to see him come back. Like, yeah, especially considering how deep into the public consciousness doping is now. and the injustices around if you're rich enough to get lawyers, you can get off with it. I think we need Liam here to be like, yeah, you know,
I got a 4-year ban for like a tiny fucking a key.
trace them out. Nah, trace them out.
Trace them out, yeah. You know, whether he's handled money with cocaine on or he's had a sniff, either way, it's his responsibility. He's owned it. He's took his 4-year ban like a man. He's been out ring 5 year in April. So really, we should welcome him back, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He took his punishment like a man. You know, I wish Liam all the best of me. He's never been stopped. You know, it'd be interesting.
Never been wobbled.
Hey?
Never been wobbled.
Never been wobbled. He's got a chin like iron. Honestly, he has proper got a chin. Tell you what's happening with cruiserweight division at the moment, because it doesn't seem to be getting any traction, does it?
So I think this year you're going to see the fights. I think you're going to see Isaac Chamberlain back in the ring again. You're going to see Billum Smith in there. You're going to see, hopefully, Lawrence fight Riakporhe. Fine, let's just get that fight done.
I'd like to see Macabo fight as well.
Yeah, well, if someone's got the $100,000 for Macabo, put it down.
Yeah, get Macabo.
Because I saw the big kid, Jordan Thompson's gone to train with Mark Tibbs.
Yeah. Well, Macabo was WBC champion, isn't he? So Bellew's actually got a win over a champion, hasn't he? But they want a belt online at the time. He's old Tony, bless him. He'll come back just to beat the champion, won't you, Tony? He got greedy. He got greedy. You'll have to scrape Bellew off floor, won't they? They got greedy, Tony. Tony will come back and sell his name only for 5 million or something, and then disappear for a month.
It'll be an exhibition.
You what?
He'll do an exhibition.
Right. Light heavyweight, Callum Smith. His career seems to I don't know. I don't know what to make of Callum Smith, to be honest. I don't know. He doesn't seem to have outlined up. He's been hard at ring since August, since Canelo beat him over 2 years ago. He's had 2 fights. You know, he's not active, is he, Callum Smith?
Nah, I think he's probably asking for too much money. And this is what Hearn's got now, right? Hearn's got a stable of guys who it costs 6 figures to get out, right? And his shows probably don't generate 6 figures. So it's like, no point in putting them out there. It's cheaper to put out people like Sky Nicholson and Ebony Bridges to get the same audience numbers.
I'm looking at Callum Smith's record here, right? But starting from his last fight, going backwards, Border League, Rivera, he beat them, lost to Alvarez, and all the rest is one. Ryder, Assen and Dam, Groves, Nicky Holtzkin, Eric Skoglund, Luke Blackledge. There's to say the guy's a multi-millionaire. I don't see anything on there that stands out to me.
No.
He's number 3 on BoxRec. Is he? Let's have a look. I think he's number 3 on BoxRec, and he's a former ring champion. You know, the guy's had it off, hasn't he? But could we say? I mean, we hammer Joshua for this, but could we say Callum Smith's really been a protected fighter?
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Joe Gallagher guided him well, didn't he?
Yeah, because if you think about Callum Smith, we haven't been interested in Callum Smith for about 5 years.
Yeah. Number 3 on BoxRec behind Beterbiev and Bivol. He's above Ramirez and Joe Smith and Pascal, but I don't think he'd fight any of them. He's above Buatsi. I don't think he'd want that smoke or yard.
No.
Dan Aziz is in top 10 for world now. He's making his mark. Hard work pays off. 18-0, Dan Aziz.
Credit where credit's due.
From Lewisham, 12 banged out. Good luck to Dan Aziz. Number 10 in world. He's done well, him. Surprised me, him. He's really, really done well. I'm impressed. Go through his record. Rocky Fielding, Shakan Peters, Reece Cartwright, Jose Burton. I mean, is his record that much worse than Callum Smith's? It's not as good, but it's not that bad worse, is it?
No. There's not much in their records.
You know what I mean? I know Callum did Rocky Fielding and he's just beat Rocky Fielding, but you'd have to say Dan Aziz as he'd deserve a shot at Callum Smith, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I just think he'd deserve a chance against him. Honestly, I really do. Does Yard beat Beav though?
Ah, it's hard, mate. It's hard. My heart says yes, my head says no.
Yeah, Andre Dirrell's now in mix as well, isn't he? At light heavyweight, that'd be an hard fight for somebody, wouldn't it? Like Callum Smith.
Ah, is Darrell big enough though?
Well, he's 39 at 39 now, and he's knocking on a bit, but he's number 12 on Boxer. Him against Dan Aziz is a good fight, isn't it?
That's a stinker. That'll be a stinker.
You reckon?
Yeah, he'll go. Darrell, you know this, man. You said it about him versus Froch. He doesn't come to make the fight.
Yeah. What do you think to the sudden turnaround from people in the media? You know, the guard.
He mentioned you the other day.
Yeah. The guard, Spencer Juggears Oliver, people like that, and I'm seeing things from Dominic Ingle and other people coming out and speaking out. Obviously, we've seen Peter Fury come out and speak about, you know what, things are not right in boxing. Now we've seen this in the last few days, which we've known about for a while. Jeff Hines and Ian John Lewis suing the board. Would Ian John Lewis be suing the board if he was still an A-star?
No chance.
So is it sour grapes?
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's there going, listen, I did everything you told me to. I gave you as many 116, 112 scorecards as you asked for. And this is how you treat me?
Yeah, but do you think it's because of what past things that he'd done it past, you know, where because he's a bit of a Calamity James type of guy, isn't he, really?
Look, man, I just, all I'll say about Ian John Lewis is if I was fighting, I wouldn't want him involved in my fight in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Where do you see 154 now, Terry? In UK? Do you see anybody there who's ready to challenge Charlo?
No chance.
No, Liam Smith.
Why isn't Jamel Charlo on people's pound for pound list? That guy was he became undisputed, like in the purest way you can do it, right? And he's undisputed at 154.
Beat everybody he's fought.
Yes, and not only that, but there's no one we're looking at going, oh, he's avoiding so and so. It's like no.
Drawing a loss, Annie, but he rematched them, didn't he?
That's fine. Like let's not hammer boxers for losing fights.
He rematched them and knocked them out.
See? Yeah.
I'm not letting this go to judging because they were unhappy with judging.
Yeah, credit where credit. I like fighters with records like that. Like Lennox had a record like that. You know what I mean? where you settle all accounts.
Froch would have if he'd have got Ward in UK, wouldn't it, at Nottingham?
No. Then he got knocked out, flat on his back, wiped out.
We don't know that, do we, Terry? We all said that about Bute, didn't we? Well, I didn't, but a lot of others did. So now he'll get well up against Bute.
No, I genuinely think Andre Ward does his best work when he travels.
He never travels.
Where did he win his gold medal?
Terry, we're talking professional. He's never travelled.
No, where did he win his gold medal?
Athens.
Okay. Did he not give the greatest speech a boxer's ever given in Fitzroy Lodge in London? Andre Ward comes alive.
Only because you were there. Tool. Only because you were there, you Ward groupie.
The man was a big, tough, brave man, but when he met me, he got beat within inside a minute. And the ambulance scraped him up off the road and took him away to the hospital, and his life was over from there on. And plenty of witnesses, including Greater Manchester Regional Crime Squad, they stopped me from absolutely killing him altogether.
Unashamedly, mate. Unashamedly. Ward for president.
I bet you and Ward carved Froch up like a slab of meat that day, didn't you? I bet you cut him down like cheddar cheese.
No, Ward respects Carl.
He should do, mate. He had lumps and bumps, mate, after that fight on his head.
Yeah, look, this idea that there's animosity, I just think that once you fought someone and you're like, okay, yeah, tougher than I thought, respect. There's a respect. I think Ward's just annoyed that Carl doesn't give him the same respect.
Yeah.
All Carl ever had to do was say, look, on that night, I faced maybe one of the best to ever do it, and I came up just short. There's no shame in that.
Yeah. No, there ain't, mate. It's something that obviously Carl's obviously sore about it, but I'm sure as time's a great heal. I mean, look at him and George Groves now.
Yeah, but hey, look at that video I sent you yesterday, man. Like prime for prime, who would have done more damage? Let's be honest.
That's that video I sent you in where he said, "Hey, you, Terry, what you been saying about me, you?"
Yeah, you know, I should send him the video I sent you and say, mate, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this is the original Cobra right here.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? To be honest with you, he trains every day and that. And you know, if the knock comes and he has to do damage, I'd love to see him fight Calzaghe in an exhibition because I know it wouldn't be an exhibition he wants to go in there. But I think he should just retire. But if he wants to do an exhibition, who am I to say no?
Who? Froch?
Yeah, if he wants to do one.
Would be a good exhibition for Carl.
I don't know. There's a bit of talk about it, but it's for Carl to come out and saying it. So, but I'd like to see him in an exhibition. If it gets rid of cobwebs, or I don't know. Fighters are never retired, are they? Really? They never. Even when they're out in pub with their mates, they're always sat there thinking, if this kicks off, I'm going to do him, and him.
Yeah.
You know, lightweights, Terry. At the moment, we know who main man is, don't we? Well, who is the main man at lightweight? There's Devin Haney, Kambosos, Javonta, Lomachenko. You know, they're all vying for top spot, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think it's clear at the moment. I'd like to see Haney versus Lomachenko. I think that would give us more clarity.
Tank Davis.
Not yet. I think we need to get Loma out the picture because when Haney and Tank fight, we don't want there to be any questions around. Well, the winner has to fight so and so. We don't want that. We want everyone out the way, like we've got with Spence Crawford. We want everyone taken care of. So it's just those two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Where do you think the boxing board of control are at the moment, Terry Costa? It looks to me like they're putting fires out now every week, isn't it, really? There's something happening every week legally or issues and that. You think it's a tired old format and they're more or less done now?
I think they're going to reboot it. I think you'll see new policies around doping and stuff like that. They'll start looking forward and going, we need to be more proactive here. I think that's what you'll see. I don't know how long that will take. I'm not saying it's going to take like a few weeks, but I think long term you're going to start to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they've come out of it with flying colours with this Ben thing, or do you think they've been shown to? Well, do you think they've just shown us what they really are?
So what I heard about that whole thing was the board knew about both failed tests, and the board said, "We'll let the fight happen, but if this is made public, we can't support the fight." So the board had known about it, and the board were like, "Yeah, go ahead, crack on." Now, if someone could show the paperwork where that was said, agreed, I think that the board in its current form is done. But that's what we're looking for, really, the smoking gun.
Do you think Eddie's come out with any credibility?
Nah, he's happy. 2022, he just took losses from everyone.
Yeah, even his missus.
Yeah. Jesus, man, his life can only get better this year.
Yeah, poor Eddie, man. I feel for Eddie at the moment. He's getting it from all angles, isn't he? But is he going to show us he's relentless, or is he going to crumble and jog on and start putting music concerts on? What's going to happen, Terry?
Nah, he'll stick around because he can still make good money. He'll be there till the DAZN money dries up.
Until Joshua goes.
No, he'll stick around after that. It'll be the DAZN money. If they run out of DAZN money, then no, he won't stick around.
You think Eddie would stick around if he ended up having a fall from Grace like Dennis? You know, from dining at the top table, then having to go back and regroup, and then trying to get back in mix. You think he'd, like a Chef Wednesday type, they were dining at the top table, weren't they, 30 years ago, and now they're trying to get back in mix like then. Do you think Eddie could cope with that with his ego, his big E?
Yeah, yeah. As long as he can squeeze a few quid out, he will always do that because he will never be as famous elsewhere as he is in boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think Keller's role in all that were? Because he was pretty quiet, but he did brave it out on talk sport, didn't he?
I think they were all in on it. I just think everyone was in on it. And then when it got leaked, people just started to separate themselves from that story.
Yeah, it's a funny one with Keller, only because you never know if he's taking Mickey here, because he always looks to me like he's either trying to gurn or he is gurning. He's got this thing that he likes to be known as Calla Montana, the guy on the beak and all that all day. And
yeah,
he plays to that now because he can't be off his head all the time at pressers, can he?
No. How would you get any business done?
Exactly, man. You'd just be sat in the room, wouldn't you, looking out at blinds like I do? Frank Warren, is he back on his perch, Terry? I did a video 3 months ago saying that. People are saying that. The only person I've said who I've seen say no is Johnny Nelson.
I think Frank had a good 2022. I think of the British promoters, Frank was head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah.
But my thing with Frank is, can he add depth to his stable? Like you got the guys at the top, your Furies, your Joyces, your Yards, right? And then you got your young kids coming through like Dennis McCann, etc. But there isn't that sort of bit in the middle that's not there at the moment, and he needs that.
Yeah. Oh, Frank must be thinking all his Christmases have come at once, eh? Arsenal top at league, and he's got Tyson Fury there, putting men on moon. You know what I mean? And Eddie's walking around with begging ball. So Frank must really be pretty chuffed about 22.
No, so he should be, because remember we talked a couple of years ago, Russ, and we thought he was done. We're like, nah, I think maybe boxing's moved past Frank Warren, and he didn't. He just carried on, went back to what he knows, and just started positioning people for titles.
Yeah. Where do you think Joseph Parker heads now? I know he's got Jack Massey fight, but do you think he can get back in mix?
No, he should never have been in the mix in the first place.
You think Massey's got a chance of beating him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why. Massey's 6'4", like a genuine 6'4". He's not, essentially, he's just training, right? He's not having to cut weight. He's just training to fight. So he might come in, I reckon he'll come in about 220.
Yeah.
And if he can keep his cruiserweight activity level at 220, yeah, Parker's got a lot of work to do. I don't think Parker's going to stop him. So yeah, I can see Massey outboxing.
Do you see James DeGale coming back? Or George Groves?
Groves, no. DeGale.
Would you put it past them digging them up?
Oh my God.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying I've heard anything or like that. But would you put it past Eduardo digging James DeGale and Groves up for a trilogy because they're 14 amateurs?
I can see it happening as like an exhibition.
Yeah.
But not like a formal comeback. I don't think either guy needs it right now.
Well, if they did come back, it'd be a shock for the system, wouldn't it, for a lot of people, don't you think?
Yeah, especially if they came back to face each other.
You think they'd have out left in tank?
Not for a 12-rounder, no. 6-rounder, yeah.
Okay, drug testing situation at the moment with UKAD and that. What do you think's best way forward, Terry? Because I know you and Larry have done a good talk on this on your channel, the Beautiful Boxing Podcast. What do you think the answer is now? Let them all take drugs, or life bans?
Life bans. And life should mean life.
Yeah, even if it's you don't know how you got it in your system and somebody spiked you and all that.
That's on you. Well, the only way that's believable is where the criminal charges. Show us some criminal charges, and then we can have that conversation.
Yeah, yeah. It's madness, isn't it?
Exciting times ahead.
This Conor Ben thing done me in. It put me really off. Put me off the sport, and I had people who basically cancelling the memberships over it, but sending me an email as well and saying, "Look, we just can't back this sport no more." And there were a few of them, and the people unsubscribed on YouTube it as well, and people who didn't unsubscribe, they were sending me venom, pure venom. I've never known not like it in my life. Honestly, it was just madness, wasn't it? Utter craziness. I don't know what the answer is. If they pull this off and Ben gets a year ban to April, he can start his camping now and fight in April, can't it? And if that happens, it just means he's just missed one fight, doesn't it, and got away scot-free. And he could have missed that fight by injury, couldn't he? So that happens, doesn't it? But I just think it'll put the sport backwards, I think. I do, honestly. Because other fighters are going to say, well, I'm just going to take it now then. Because everybody's on it, aren't they? And they can get away with it. There's no precedent being set, is there?
That's the worry. There's not enough testing happening to make it a deterrent. So when you catch someone, just ban them for life. No appeal, nothing. Ban them.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation. And I like I said, I always think back to Liam's 4-year ban, but there's other people that have got off scot-free. And Roy Jones has been done, hasn't he?
Jones, Tony, Holyfield, they've all been done.
Tony, Holyfield, Jones. They're all the famous, aren't they?
Yeah, man, that boxing Hall of Fame is full of a lot of drug cheats.
Do you know what I mean? All the famous. It's I don't know. Hey, Cobra's in Hall of Fame. He's not
well deserved.
Yeah, it is well deserved, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. You know, I give him a hard time, but I'll say this: not many British fighters have the run that he had.
Yeah, and Clinton's been in for the last few years. He's been on list, you know, for them who they pick from. They pick certain people. Yeah. They pick 5 out of so many, don't they? And Clinton went world champion over 3 years. That's a good run, isn't it?
That was a hell of a run. What was that, 2004, 2007?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah. So, or what it 2006 to 9. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but he had a 3-year run, over 3 years, just over 3-year run, which were like Mike. I think his run was the same length of time as Mike Tyson's run first time. So really, you'd like to think that Clinton will get in there one day, won't he?
Oh.
But he's not like Mr. Exciting outside the ring, Clinton, is he? He's not into publicity stunts and on social media and all that. He's quiet bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's just a tough man. I'd like to see him in there. If Tim Bradley can get in, I'm sure he can get in.
Tim Bradley's in there because he's on everybody's lips all the time on TV, isn't he?
So there you go, Porky.
But they could say that about Carl, but I think he's in there on merit. But who's best heavyweight coming through now, Terry? You're pretty up on the amateur scene. When's Haringey Cup, and who's the big star this time?
It's a bit of a low point in terms of kids coming through because we're in that phase where loads of kids are going from 0 to 10, 15 bouts now, right? And a lot of the guys who had the bouts have either had families, retired, whatever. So right now, nothing to get too excited about, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah. What about that JP, your mate? What's he on with?
He's got a shisha lounge in Essex.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
What's that? Kebabs?
No, it's more just smoking shisha and a few drinks, like a cocktail bar.
I thought it was you. Oh, right, because there's a place in Donny that does cheese kebab. Oh, that's that pipe stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it, Bacca?
It's that flavored tobacco, isn't it?
Why do people go there to smoke it? Like, why don't they just
I don't know. It's just the thing to do now.
Does it give you the buzz?
Nah, you could put something in there if you wanted to give you a little extra kick.
Yeah, like some ultra death, mega death. That sauce I put in my curry.
Yeah.
You had that, Terry?
I've had one of them, Psycho Drops or something. I've got in my
Oh
fridge.
my God, strong, isn't it?
Oh, mate, like I said, I had some on my finger, and I must have caught my nutsack with it.
You're nutsack. Go on, Terry.
Mate.
Okay, then. We'll finish off on Harper Jonas. Does it happen, yes or no?
No.
And why not?
Too much water under the bridge, as Joe said. A lot of hostile stuff. The way Natasha was treated. They don't want to give Steffi Bull that payday. I don't even think it's a Harper thing per se. I think it's a Steffi Bull problem. So I don't see that fight happening.
No, I've heard Natasha say she gets on with Terry, but it's obviously it's cut a bit deep, hasn't it? Really.
That's what I said. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem between the two fighters. I think it's stuff that was said by people we both know.
Yeah.
And it's alienated that person.
Well, you've got to be nice to people on way up, because on way down they remember you, don't they?
Exactly.
So have you heard out from Rico?
We had a few messages back and forth over the weekend, but
Still over there?
No, I think he's back now.
Rico. You texted me the other day, but you didn't say whether we're back or not. Rico, are you on a Bosman to Porky's Corner this week? Or are you still on loan to Matlock Town? Matlock Town, bless him. All right then, Teddy. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure. I hope you.
Yeah, hey, good. Have a good show with Den as well. Yeah, give him my best.
Dennis was on in half an hour. I'll send him your best.
Perfect, mate.
All right, then, mate. Well, listen, you have a great Sunday, what's left of it, and peace out, my friend.
Peace out.
Take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
That was Terry Chappendama, my pal from London. He's been a contributor on here over a 5 stretch. Good boxing bloke, trains amateurs, and he's got a gig with Fight Zone. I think he's done 2 or 3 shows. So he's happy. He does his bit. So okie dokie. Hope everybody's all right. All right. Peace out. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.